Let's work on today's technique. For more information, click on the link below. Welcome to GoodKnit Kisses. We're all about helping you stitch your love and love your stitches. You can work in either direction, by the way. So we need to cast on 4 stitches, and I'm going to join on this side. You can work in either direction. I'm going to do 4 stitches. All right, so I'm going to cast on left to right. Double E-wrap. This is live. If you're watching the replay, just remember I'm doing this live, so. Okay. All right, so I've casted on the 4 stitches. We are starting the join section, and we're going to work rows 1 through 4. We're going to slip this first stitch, which is just ignoring it, and then we're going to knit 2 stitches, and I'm still U-wrapping. So just go wrap around the front of that stitch and knit, and then we're going to join where we, I don't think we have join written. Let me see, pick up the purl bump, which this one's not a purl bump on here, so we're just picking up a bump. Okay, we pick up a bump, and then we and then we're knitting it, right? And then we're moving this over, and then we're wrapping and knitting over both loops on the peg. So we're gonna knit and put those 2 together to join. So we're not purling to join this week. And then we are going to move on to the second row, which is purl 3 and knit 1. So I'm going to go back on this one. I'm going to purl 1, 2, 3, and then knit 1, and then we're slipping 1, and then we're going to knit 3. This is row 3. 1, 2, 3, and then we're going to purl 3. This is row 4. Purl 1, 2, 3, and then 4. Okay, so that is the end of row 4, and I'm back on the right side of, or right edge of this, and I'm ready to start row 1 again. And so you just start it by slipping that first stitch, and then we knit 2, 1, 2, and then we join again. So as long as Joanne doesn't tell me I've joined it different than she's joined it, because I believe I'm doing this correctly. It's live, people. So I'm going to come over here and grab this edge stitch here, making sure I'm grabbing the right one. And we're just going to put this, place it. So I'm going to pick it and place it. And then I'm going to knit that stitch. All right. And then I'm going to move it over. So, because basically when I pick it up, I'm creating the ability to have a nice flexible stitch to join it. Okay. And then I place it on this peg here, this first peg. and then I'm going to knit these together. All right, and now they're joined, and then that's the ending of row 1. Now when I go back, yes, I'm going to work this peg again, and I'm going to purl. So we're purl 3, and Joanna's confirming you're spot on. Woohoo! She's been working on this over the weekend, so this is like something that we've been doing like pretty much like as it happens. So kudos to Joanne. She's been following this all along, and she's just basically a step ahead of y'all, like just a step ahead. It's really awesome. She's amazing. So we're doing this row. We're on row 2, purl 3, and knit 1. Again, now you work back 2 more rows and you don't join. So we are, as far as this goes, we're joining. You're going to follow this up whenever you do join. You've got to pull like as it happens, like make sure that these are nice and even, and go, okay, which one should I grab? You're not trying to get it right next to that. So we're going to do 2 more rows before we join. I'm going to do it one more time and show you how I'm going to skip up here. All right, so I've got 2 more rows. We're slipping 1, we're knitting 3, 1, 2, 3, and that's adding that extra row on here. And then we've got 1 more row, so we're purling 1, 2, 3, and then we knit, and now we're ready for another join. Let's do it again. All right, and then we're going to slip that 1 stitch, and then we knit 1, 2. All right, here comes that join. So now that we've knit a little bit of length and you can see it a little bit more, we're going to go like this, and I'm going to see that it's about right here. So I'm going to take one of these stitches here. Yeah, that's a good one. I'm going to take that one, and I'm going to knit it to pick it up. That's just picking up a stitch. And then we're just moving it, and that picked up stitch is now knit together with this one. So it's not adding an extra row or anything. It's just a matter of trying to grab all the right stitches together and then not having the other color in here. All right, and then now we work the row by purling. So now we're on the 3rd row. I'm sorry, no, we're on row 2, purl. It's only 4 stitches. And then that edge stitch is always going to be knit on your way back, and then it's skipped or slipped on the next row. So you just knit, 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 and then purl, purl, purl. That's it. Now when you get to the end of this row, you take this entire time to go across all the edges. Okay, so you work your way all the way up, and let me flip this so you can see it. This is what this looks like. Isn't that cool? So this is what your edge looks like, and then it starts see, it pulls it together like this, and you go all the way up here, all the way up this side here, and then when you get to the end, you stop right here, and then you hop down to, if you want to continuous join, you can turn it and then turn it. So you turn it and work up like a diagonal. So you'll be at the edge here, and then you work to make a diagonal here, like that. And then what we do is, now you're working in another part of the corner, and it does this other diagonal. I'm just using these yarn to demonstrate. It's like my chalkboard. Yarn is a chalkboard. Would you pay more attention in school? So you're making like a part 1 of a corner and then a part 2 of a corner, and then it gets you back over here to where you start joining here. So this is the option for join as you go. If not, if you're not using the join as you go, then you're just making this edge until you get all the way to the end. So anyway, so you work these sides first. Okay, the side of your clue 4 and the side of your clue 5. I mean, your clue 3. So here's clue 3. So you work these here, okay, and then you work the side of this one, okay, and then you join at this part and then this part, right? And that's if you're doing it side, 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 okay? But if you want to join as you go, then you just keep going, baby. Go, baby, go. So, go, Speed Loomer. Go, go, Speed. Y'all remember that show? So if you want more help on that to get an idea of what she's talking about when she works on, so right here, this is the pattern. This is what I've been referring to off to the side. Okay, so let me show you from the beginning. This is the Stitch Along Clue 6 blog. It starts off looking like this. We talk about the needle stuff a little bit here and some overview. Here's the needle video. And then now here, notes for loomers. And then this is where you need to pay attention here. And then this is the abbreviated part about the join. Okay, last week we purled as we went, and so you've got a slight change here. And then option 1, work the join on each edge separately. That's what I'm talking about. We're doing it 4 different times. You'll have 4 different bind off for those stitches, and then sew in your or weave in your tails, and then you work that. And then here, option 2, work a continuous join with short rowed corners. This is where it looks like the 10 stitch, or go look at my 5 stitch blanket. So this, you're only working with 4 stitches. So if you look at the 5 stitch blanket, that'll really help you, but this is how she's got it written out. So pay close attention to how it's written here, but if you want to see how I'm wrapping, then you can go to that. So you slip the first stitch, you know how to do that now. You join, blah, blah, blah. So you do all that like you're supposed to do. Okay, and then this is what I'm saying on the top and bottom edges, which is the ones for clue 4 and 3. You're going to repeat rows 1 through 2 only on those. But on that other edge, the right and left edges is what we're calling where all of them are coming together. You do the repeat like I just showed you. Then you go on when you get to the end. If you're going to continue, you get to the end of that first section, and then you do the corner section where you do a row 3, slip 1, knit 2, and then you do a wrap and turn. So the wrap and turn is where you lift up the peg, and then you wrap around the peg, and then put that peg you put that loop back down, and then you work the next stitch. So you work a knit 2, then you work back on row 4, and you ignore wherever you just wrapped, and so it gets shorter. So if you count here on row 3, it shows it's four pegs, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then after you've wrapped and you go on to row 4, you purl 2 and knit 1. Well, that's only 3 pegs, right? And then you get to row 5, and then you slip 1, knit 1, wrap. That's still only working 3 pegs, right? Now we're ignoring that wrap peg, and we get to row 6, and we only work 2 pegs, purl 1, knit 1. Now we get to row 7, and we slip 1, wrap 1. So we're wrapping that last stitch here. And then row 8, we only have 1 peg to work with, so we knit it. And then row 9, we slip that peg we just knit, and then we wrap again. Yeah, so there's like 2 wraps on this one. I'm just going to verbally walk y'all through it. And then knit 1 on row 10. So you knit this edge stitch, okay? And then row 11, you increase again. So this one where it says W1, you now have 2 wraps on there. So you're doing it again, where you lift the the stitches off or stitch off, and then you put one on. And then you purl, and then you knit, and then you keep working to where everything finally ends up getting 2 wraps on them that had the wraps and turns. Okay, so now by the time I get to row 15, I'm back to 4 stitches here. And when I'm knitting them, I'm knitting 2 over 1. If I've got, or 3 over 1, if I've got multiple wraps on there, by the time I get down here, I'm knitting them all over. So, oh, okay. You don't have to lift it. Okay. Joanne has done it now where you don't have to wrap and turn. So you can just wrap it and then move on. You don't have to lift it up. So she's confirming that's actually easier. So she's tested it that way. I normally lift them up and over. So she's just wrapping it. Yay. That'll work. And then you just keep moving on. So even though it doesn't say down here after the wrap 1, you're adding the wrap, but whenever you get to the knitting, when you get back on that peg that had extra wraps, you're just going to work that entire, all the loops that are on the peg. And then you just continue working them in each corner. And then what I was talking about earlier, when you get to that final corner section, the 4th one, you stop at row 15. You don't do row 16. And then this row, see how it's purl 3? Oops. See how it was already going to be a purl row? It's purl 3, knit 1. So in order to purl bind off, you purl the first 2 stitches, and then you move the purl stitch, the second purl stitch, onto the first purl stitch, lift up and over, and then move it over onto that empty peg, and then continue that way. So it's a purl bind off instead of a E-wrap or U-knit bind off. And then you finish that up. You work a purl bind off row. After row 15, leave a yarn tail long enough to join and bind off your edges together, and weave in your tails. And that is it. So I hope that has helped. That is us working feverishly over the weekend. Really, it's all Joanne. And I had to kind of interpret some of that really quickly. So it's not Joanne, it's me. So anyway, with only 4 stitches at the corner, you can't see a visible difference if you lift the stitch before wrapping it or not, is what Joanne is saying. So she's all about the shortcut. So because you can't tell and it's so small, then don't worry about lifting it, lifting the stitch, doing one of those wrap and turns where you lift it and then wrap it and then put it back down, which is what I was saying, because that's normally how I do it. But she's assuring me, and she's very meticulous about things looking nice, so I believe her. So it's really good. Yeah, so I hope that helps. Let us know if you have any other questions. Joanne and I will try and get to those as soon as possible. The best way would be if you have any questions to go on the blog and leave questions there. And in fact, if you guys will, if you have a question about a pattern or something that we've done a video on, when you go to GoodKnitKisses.com and you go to that search bar, type in the thing that you're looking for and find it. And if you will like comment on the blog there, it'll be much easier to find the answer. So, yeah. Because these videos kind of get, some of the comments and stuff can get lost in the shuffle. So if you need help, be sure and go to our website. Thanks for joining us today, where we help you stitch your love and love your stitches. See you again soon.